awesome. Okay, great. Okay, so this is actually a question I kind of asked you in the first one. So I'm still gonna ask it actually, just because I just never know what to expect with these books. Is without obviously no spoilers, whatever. Um, is there anybody in this book you're gonna be sad to see go?
Hmm. Anyone I'm gonna sad to see go. There was a lot of loss in the first two books, let me say, and there were a couple of really key points, without mentioning names, that when they were lost, it hurt, and I knew it hurt the reader, and I even got some feedback,
Really bad.
from people that are like,
Can't
really,
believe it.
and I'm
That's
like,
how I felt.
well, that the fact you think that I would shy away from that, but that's a fact. If something's not worth the price of admission, why are you there? If you read a book and it doesn't cost you at some level to read it, I mean, depending on the
That's
book, you
true.
don't invest yourself in it and then it costs you at some point.
It's true.
What was the point of reading it, I suppose? So in I can't say off the top of my head, just because there's been a lot of losses in the first two. I can't say that there's going to be anybody I'm going to particularly miss, because I don't see right now in the fog of writing, so to speak, as far as I can. I don't see right now, but who knows? At some point along the way, I might say,
Hurt.
"Listen, a character, um, I got some bad news for you." Your story arc was humming along beautifully, and but I'm sorry, but I think that's the way it happens. In a series, it's like you sit down with an actor and say, listen, we're going to give you your final pay because we're going to kill you off. The writers have decided.
Oh my
I know
gosh.
that happens in
Those are so sad.
the living, breathing aspect of it. But as far as goes right now, anybody that's going to be gone, I would be glad to see them be gone, let us say. I'm not going to.
That, you know what? Actually, I like this answer way better than that about the first one. This is way better actually. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, I had to know, because at this rate, while we know this isn't like the end, this is a brief end at least. So I was just wanting to see if by the end of it you're like, yeah, no, there's a couple people like that one actually hurt. That one did hurt.
Yeah.
It's good to know that actually is what happens to you guys.
And I think too that at the end of the story arc of these three, it's going to be necessary for her not to hang around Detroit anymore. I think
Yeah.
for a lot of reasons. Now I knew from the beginning, and that's one of the interesting things, is I wasn't out to write a fluffy, happy, all the bows will be tied, and there'll be butterflies and rainbows at the end of this and stuff like that. There's plenty of books that will do that for you. This was somebody who had to confront the real evil of the world and how it changed them, but their core beliefs and values and who they were not jettisoned
Mm.
or irreparably damaged in the process.
Mm.
They were actually refined. Great clarity can come from those things that we deal with. Um, Great, focus can happen with it. And so I think it's necessary that she leaves the scene of Detroit. I also think it's sort of a grape that at the end will be. There won't be any juice left in this. There just won't. I mean, I don't know what she would do next if she hangs around her hometown.
Right.
But there are other evils, even in our country, that I think she needs to go and deal with, because at this point, she has a lot of threads to work out. I knew she
Mm.
was going to go down a dark road. I knew
Mm.
she was going to, and when I mean dark, I don't mean she becomes corrupt. It's that she has to plunge into this living hell,
Yeah.
if you would, in order to rescue, in order to deal with the bad guys.
Right.
She is she's not a sheep.
Mm.
She's not a wolf. She's a sheepdog.
Shoot.
and she has to go and do what she needs to do. She's got to bare her fangs in there, and she has to get bloody over the whole thing because the wolves are not going to stop. And
Wow.
what's interesting too is a lot of the soft underbelly of our culture is being challenged right now, as to exactly who and what we are and what we're willing to tolerate and what we're not willing to tolerate. So those elements are all in play. Like I said,
Wow.
there's a lot of fodder that's been given to me,
Yeah.
and to take this forward. So that being said, there we are with Tamari and moving forward in this series. So.
Oh, this is craziness. This is absolute craziness. Okay. Gonna pause it. That's for that.